Great. So I know, Swami, you have never made a bad decision in your life, but Vignesh, who, has made 14 bad decisions last week, what's that about? If we have such big brains, how is it possible that we can make bad decisions? So, yeah, around 20 years ago, myself and some others started measuring brain activity while people made decisions to understand why people make those decisions. We try to ask people, hey, like we talked about trust earlier, why'd you trust this stranger with real money on the line? And the most common answer would be, I don't know. Seemed like the thing to do. Well, I don't know is not a way to build a theory. It's not a way to really understand the human condition. And so I think, the key here is measurement. So when we in our lab have developed tools to measure what people's brains are doing, then you can actually go, okay, now I understand, even if that person themselves doesn't understand that. So, so to me, economics is the core of that is decision making. And if we measure brain activity during decisions, then we get an idea of why people do what they do. And as you've said, then you can apply that to management, you can apply it to marketing, a lot of areas that my group has worked in. And so to me, it's just I'm a very cheap guy. I hate to waste resources, and so to me, if I understand mechanism, I can be very precise the way I deploy this. Right. So if I want to create a workplace where people are really effective, productive, satisfied with their jobs, then I can ask what are the neuroscience principles through which people work together, right? So one of those is I've got to be comfortable around these individuals, psychological safety. Okay, we can measure that physiologically. Awesome. We have a tool for that. The second is I'm not going to be an effective team member unless I trust those other individuals, right? If I'm doing all the work and they're just free riding and not, that's not a good system, right? So how do I understand that these other individuals have my back, they support me, they're reliable? That's also measurable, right? So again, driven by immersion. And so there's lots of ways to do this in which I can ask, gee, from measuring, I found that on Fridays, my team's really unproductive. Why is that? Um, I don't know. So I could think, more deeply about it. So there's some movements that happen all the time to move from the typical kind of, at least Western, you know, 8-hour workday, 5 days a week to 4 10-hour days. I mean, to me, that's very testable. And I could certainly test that on whether people are happier, but I also would like to know neurologically, is that more effective? So I'll give you one more example. One of the largest subscribers to my company, Immersion Neuroscience, is Accenture, right? Big global professional services company. And they've been measuring the training they provide to their employees for about 4 years using our platform. They produce $1 billion of training annually, a crazy big investment. And how did they assess the ROI from that? They would ask people after this nice offsite at some nice hotel in some nice city, did you like the training? How was the keynote? How was the lunch? Was the lunch good? What'd you think? I don't care about any of that. It has nothing to do with ROI, right? The question is, did this information stick in your brain so that when you get back to work, you can apply this new knowledge to create value for the organization, for your clients? Right? And they had no measure of that, or they had very poor measures of that. So they've been measuring immersion, which tells you that the brain values this, and when you value it, you remember it. And they have found through measurement that people cannot stay immersed in a training for more than 20 minutes. And yet, many of us are stuck with the tyranny of the 60-minute clock. Why is that? So, that's just, to me, that's just a neuroscience issue. How long can my brain sustain the state in which I'm immersed in this material? I'm going to remember it before I need a break, before I need to change what I'm doing. That's empirical. So, again, I think the key here is measurement. And while there might be general neuroscience principles, people need sleep, people that we all sort of know, the specific principles require measurement on how do I optimize the workplace or the way I communicate to customers. How do I create an extraordinary customer experience? Vignesh, you got a question. You are dying to ask me something. I can just tell.